Hey, it's Matt. Welcome back to another tool haul video. As you can see, I got a lot of screwdrivers here, some sockets, some wrenches. I got a toolbox hiding in the back over here. But somebody wanted me to talk about these scorpions, so let's talk about these scorpions. I'll bring you in on one real close here. I do not make these. I wish I did. I might try to backwards engineer them and see how this guy makes these things and see if I can do it. But I mean, that is pretty some pretty intense work there. But yeah, this truck driver, he has to offload some material to us, and it takes him about an hour or so. So while he's doing that, he sits there and makes these scorpions, and then he gives them to whoever is standing there waiting there with him, so nothing happens. So yeah, one made out of phone wire there, and I got a couple more out in the garage. Maybe I'll bring them in, get a little army here, but whatever. I just thought they'd be nice little mascots and pretty cool little folk art there. So let's get you in here. Let's start you off with the toolbox I got hiding back here. What do you think it is? Any guesses yet? Any guesses? We got a Kennedy. And I got this at the antique store. Paid about 20 bucks for it, and I think it's about worth that. It's a little rusty and dinged up, and you know, whatever. I don't think I'm going to try to sell it. I'll use it for storage. Actually put some tools in it and stuff, but it's a tackle box style. I don't have a box like this, so figure for 20 bucks, why not? It still functions. It's just a little dirty and dingy. Let's bring you in on it, get you a little closer in here. But whatever, not too bad for 20 bucks for something that I'm just going to use. Use it for storage. So what do you think? 20 bucks? Is it worth it? I think so. So let's bring you back, get in on these tools here. I don't have anything too crazy. I might give you a little history lesson on some Mac stuff, because I said in another video that I've never really done any research on Mac. So I did a little digging and figured I'd get some information for you since I found some Mac stuff in here. I got some Thorsen stuff in here that I might give you a little history on the logos and, you know, just a little quick how to date the tools if you get some. But let's start off with these screwdrivers. Got a lot of Craftsman WF. All of these are WF, I believe. Got a 41582 flat blade, long flat blade in decent shape. Got a number 3 Craftsman. Let's see if we can get a part number 41297. Number 3 in really good shape. Got a number 1, I believe, here, and it's got a little bit of schmutz on it. 41294, but that can be cleaned up. Looks like it's been not been used too much. We got a number 0 and 41293. Yeah. So again, not in bad shape. And I got forgot to tell you, I got all of these from either antique store or the thrift store. I didn't get too much from the antique store. I think I got one of these wrenches and a couple of these screwdrivers from the antique store, and the rest was at a thrift store. So get that out of the way. And I only paid about 25 bucks for all of this stuff. The sockets were 50 cents a piece. Yeah, so it adds up to like about $1 for a couple of these screwdrivers, $2 for some of them. I think I paid $4 for this, and I think this was like $2. And the rest of the stuff was like $1 or something, $1.50. So anyway, where was I here? We got these screwdrivers. Okay, let's take a look at this Torx driver. Sorry, 41476. That is a T25. If you watch my other videos, I got a T10, a T15, and a T20, and I think I got a Stanley and a couple of Craftsman ones, so now I got a T25. So, you know, a little mismatched set, but at least I'm adding to it. Let's take a look at this little guy here. I thought this was pretty cool. This is a Vaco, how do you say it? Tell me if I'm wrong. I know you will. DU-5, and is it a 5? What is it? Yeah, it looks like a 5. I don't know. But thought this was pretty cool because it's a little stubby that flips around and gives you a flat blade. So I couldn't pass that up. Thought that was neat, and I like this different amber. It's kind of a darker amber. It's not like, you know, your Stanley, which is a little bit yellower. This has got a little more orange to it. So I thought that was cool. So let's move right to the Stanley then. And this one's in really good shape. Look at that thing. Practically brand spanking new. 65-323. And it's a number 3. Looks never used. So again, I couldn't pass that by. And its brother is right here, and this one looks like it has been used. A little dinged up, and it's got some paint on it, but no big deal. It'll clean up nicely. Flat blade. Little bit of rounding on it, but could be cleaned up. So figured I'd snag that up to go with that one. And I got these little screwdrivers, kind of precision screwdrivers. And this one is an insulated one, so Phoenix contact. Has some insulation down there for, you know, like electricians. And I often find myself digging around in electrical boxes, and I need one of these. It's just becoming a more frequent thing at work where I'm having to dig around with electrical. I'm not an electrician, but whatever. I'll mess with it, so I can use that at work. So I figured I'd snag that up. And I never heard of this brand before, and it looked like it was in decent shape. Nothing wrong with that tip. A little bit of, you know, delamination on there or whatever. And again, I don't know what that is. Barjan? Who knows? But I did a little bit of research, and I think it's like a Walmart brand or something. I don't know. Somebody tell me. But whatever. Little kind of pocket screwdriver. So snag that up. And we got this little guy. A little precision screwdriver. Anybody know what brand that is without looking at it? See what we got here. Oh, there it is. Now, how do you pronounce that? Is it Wiha or Wiha? Made in Germany. A little precision screwdriver. So figure I'd snag that up too. Alright, let's get to these sockets. We have some Craftsman sockets, and then these are, well, I'll show you these right away. These are Husky China, and I don't know why I even got them, but they're Husky. So it's almost a full set, 1/4 inch metric. Missing the 13, and I'm missing the 6mm, but I have everything else down to, I think, 4mm. Yeah, and there's no 5.5 either, but whatever. It was almost a full set, so I snagged it up. Alright, let's get to these Craftsman. I think these are all upside down G. So we got a 7/16, 1/4 inch drive, 12 point. We got a 1/2 inch, 3/8 drive, 12 point. And we got a 3/8, yeah, 3/8, 1/4 inch drive, 12 point. And an 11mm. We got their 3/8 drive, 12 point. Did I say 3/8 drives on that one? I don't know if I said 3/8 drive. I meant to say 1/4 inch. You know what I mean. You saw it. Alright, so we got those for the sockets. Now I guess we'll go to these little pliers here. You know, I grabbed these thinking they were channel locks. It doesn't say channel lock anywhere on them. That blue is really, it's close to channel lock, but I think it's a little too light. Let me grab some actual channel locks here. Well, here's some almost brand spanking new ones, so a little bit lighter. I'll grab some old ones. Yeah, I don't know. It's just not the right shade. I don't know. What do you think? Could it be? Ah, man, it's pretty close to this one, but I don't know. I don't think they're channel locks. I think they would say it on there if it was, but again, I could be wrong. Thought they were pretty nice. They weren't abused. They don't look like they've ever been used. The tip isn't all spread apart and narfed up, and figured I'd snag on those. Why not? Alright, let's take a look at the speed wrench here. This speed wrench is a Thorsen. So let's get you in on that logo there. So we got a 1/2 inch drive, number 62 Thorsen, and that logo right there, it has that weird font to it, that weird T, that weird S. So this is like a mid-70s or later, if you ever see that logo. So this isn't too old, and it's a 1/2 inch drive. I have a couple of other Thorsen tools. I have some sockets, and I think I have an adapter. I think the sockets are 3/8, but the adapter that I have is from 1/2 inch to 3/8. So I might stick this with those sockets, clean this up a little bit, and sell those sockets and that adapter with this, maybe, I don't know, just for a set, although I think those sockets are a little bit earlier. But let's do a little history on the logo and whatever, in case you have some Thorsen and you don't know what year they are. So again, that logo, mid-70s or so, somewhere around there, so not too old. If it was one earlier than that, it would be that font. And then notice the manufactured in USA. So if it says MFD USA, they did that after 1962. So we know that this one is after 1962 because it says manufactured USA, but it's got the different font, so we know it's mid-70s or later. That one manufactured USA, and we got this other one here that just says USA, so this is going to be a pre-62, I believe, unless I'm way off and this is way later than 72. Who knows? But that's what I'm thinking. So there we go for your little Thorsen lesson, I guess. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Again, I'm not an expert. I just do this for fun. If you really want to research any of this stuff, what the years are, check out alloyartifacts.com. It's a really helpful website, one of the most thorough websites I have ever been on in my entire life. Whoever made that took a lot of time and a lot of effort, and it's greatly appreciated by me and probably a lot of other people to help identify their tools and the years and everything. So check that website out if you haven't already. All right, let's take a look at this wrench here. And I see these all the time at antique stores, and they usually got like 10 bucks on them, maybe 12 bucks. I've seen them go for, they're listed for like 20 bucks sometimes. But I really don't think they're all that rare. I mean, I see them everywhere. So I figured I'd snag it up. It was 2 bucks. And it's, car associated vehicle, automobile. And I like collecting the automobile tools, even though I don't think this is specific to like a Ford. I know Ford's had a specific spark plug wrench, but I don't think this is specific for a Ford. It might be for, an Oldsmobile or something, or maybe it was just a mass-produced tool that would work on multiple different vehicles. Again, don't know. There's no maker name on it. There is a part number on it. I looked it up and, could have done a little more research, I guess, but I just wasn't too interested in knowing who the manufacturer was. It has this weird, like, I don't know what kind of cross that is, like a Knights Templar cross or something, or Maltese cross, whatever you call them, kind of looking symbol right there. So I don't know if that is going to tell you who the maker is. Yeah, that's a good view of it right there. So I don't know if anybody knows who used that symbol. Let me know, but whatever. It'll go into my collection of automobile tools. Throw that in there with that Rober from the last video. But yeah, if you haven't watched any of my other videos, just, click my name there and click videos and check it out. And, give me the thumbs up. I'd give you this one, but it's a little, it's not that great. So thumbs up there. It's down here somewhere. Do it. All right, awesome. Let's take a look at these other wrenches and get done with this video, huh? All right. Got a New Britain 1/2 inch 7/16 NDF. What is that, 16? Come on now. Yeah, 16. So figured I'd snag that up. I don't have any New Britain wrenches, so now I do. Cool. All right, let's talk about these Mac wrenches. And I know I had some sockets in a couple of videos, some old Mac sockets, and never really did any research on them. So I guess Mac started in 1945, and they started in Ohio near where Cornwell Tools was. And what I read is that on Alloy Artifacts is that some people that worked at Cornwell uh, went over to Mac or started Mac. I don't know what it was, if Mac was started first and then they, pilfered some people from Cornwell. But their tools look very similar, and I often see tools in a toolbox, and if I can't see the name, I say, oh, that's a Cornwell. And then it ends up being a Mac, or I say, oh, that's a Mac, and then it ends up being a Cornwell. They look very similar, and I brought out some tools of my own collection here to kind of show you, the similarities between the Cornwells and the Macs. Just so, if you see them in a box or whatever, it's pretty difficult to tell them apart sometimes. So let's take a look here at these two. And I think this is one of the earliest Macs that I have. It's very crudely made. The head has a very odd shape to it. And it's just crude, really crude. I mean, look at that box end isn't even square. It's just dips down like that. It's like squared off at the back here. Just a very odd kind of looking wrench. So I think this is probably a early production of their wrenches. And this one I think might be a little bit later than that one. Again, it could be the same era, but this one appears to have a little bit of a thin finish on it. That one, it might have a finish on it, but this one looks a little bit shinier. So again, I would say this would be, mid to late 40s on this wrench. So let's take a look at maybe something that would be in the mid 50s from Mac. That would be this wrench here. They started using a little different numbering system, and we definitely have a better looking finish on the tool. Definitely a better manufacturing finish process. Just looks like a nicer looking tool. And after that, you would go to something like maybe this, and that has this type of logo on it, which came out in the 60s, I believe. So this would be a 60s, and I think they had this similar style into the 70s with this date coding on there. So looks something like that. So this would be like a 60s or 60s into the 70s tool. And if we grab a Cornwell here, you can take a look at that Cornwell, and it has virtually the same finish on it, the same hex point on the front of it. Looks virtually identical, other than the name that's on it. So just interesting how these factories were really close together, and had some people working at that factory and just took those ideas, I guess, and styling, and went to a completely different company and came out with these wrenches that look very, very similar. So thought that was cool. And while we're at it, I guess I'll show you some really, really old Cornwell tools. Now, Cornwell tools came out in 1919, and I have some of the earliest tools that they made. So if you've never seen any really early Cornwell tools, here you go. And I got these in an auction a while ago, and I didn't do a video on them. But I got these with a bunch of other tools. It was a really good haul, and should have done a video of it, but it's before I started making them. So these are from like 1919 to maybe 1926, and I could date these in between there because of the different different sizing on them and stuff. Some of them said different things at different years. They got away from this at some point, the SAE stuff, so I could date them more specifically, I believe, but and then some of them used an A at the end. That one has a dash A. That one has a dash A on it as well. But I believe I was reading on LA Artifact, and there was some sort of discrepancy with between having this SAE on there and that A, like it was borderline from year to year. So I'm just going to say they're from anywhere from 1919 to 1926. But I don't know, these are some of my favorite wrenches here to see early Cornwells. And yeah, thought I'd share them with you. And again, like this is SAE, so this is a 1/2 inch. So this is a 3/4 because this is going by the bolt size. Half, well, I don't know if it's 3/4 because I forget what the SAE and whatever the other, they labeled them different back then. So, but it's for like a 1/2 inch 13 bolt, and a 1/2 inch 13 bolt nowadays is a 3/4 head. You know, so this was a 7/16, whatever, 7/16 is 14, 7/16 14 or whatever. And that's probably, what is it, a 5/8 or something. Do I have a 5/8 here? Yeah, I have a 5/8. So yeah, so that's probably a 5/8. So just thought I would share those with you. So that'll do it for the video today. Let me know, what was your favorite thing? I don't know, a couple of these screwdrivers are pretty nice. That one looks really good. These two look good. That one will clean up nicely. That one's brand new. I mean, I don't know. I think I got some good stuff. 25 bucks for all of this. That isn't too bad. 20 bucks for the box. I don't know. I did all right. A lot of this stuff I'm just gonna use and keep. You know, I'll sell a little bit of this stuff, so it's not really concerned about the money side of it, and if I'm gonna be able to sell something and recuperate on it. Just thought I would be out and about and buying some stuff and having some fun. So let me know, what was your favorite thing? Like, subscribe, it's down there somewhere. Thanks, have a good one.